Something that I personally have been thinking about a lot recently is the concept of when. Partially due, major life event. My daughter was born this last week, and we've asked that question a lot in the process of when is this labor going to be over? When is the baby due? People constantly coming up to us, how much longer, right? But additionally, because I um, create content for TikTok as well, and that has a younger kind of basic audience, more or less, I see a lot of stuff about that people are like, when am I going to meet him or her, right? When is he going to finally pop the question? When am I going to find our dream home? When am I going to graduate? When are these lockdowns or these mask ordinances going to end? When is. There's so many of them, right? When am I finally going to quit? Whether it's smoking, maybe drugs, other sobriety issues. When am I going to finally lose the weight? When am I going to finally figure out a diet that works for me? When is my child going to finally be potty trained? When are they going to start eating? Sleeping through the night is one, obviously, that's pretty important to me right now. When are we going to find a career? When is, like, just when? We have a lot, and what's interesting to me is how easy it is to get locked into the when of a specific circumstance, as if all of life isn't this very thing. And people tell me personally all the time now that you need to take time to enjoy whatever it is, because it's not going to last forever. And then you're going to look back and be like, where did the time go? And it's so easy to ignore that. Like, it's such a platitude, right? Right now, people are telling me all the time, you need to enjoy time just holding your baby girl, because eventually she's not going to be a baby girl anymore, even if you kind of want her to be, right? And people that are older, maybe their children are older and grown, they're thinking about their grandkids that are now at that stage, and where did the time go? We live in a continuous, unbroken chain of Wednesdays. When will that occur? And as a result, it just breeds this discontentment with our current status of, because of our finances, when about debt, when about income, when's about um, the insufficiency of resources, when's about the fact that you're always about to do something that's the next stage, right? You get home only to, you're going to sleep for a little while and you got to go back to work, right? Traffic is one of the biggest torments of modern society, and the entire concept of traffic exists as a massive when. When is this construction going to be finished so we can get through here? When are they finally going to fix these potholes? When are these people going to learn how to drive? This is life. And it breeds aggression and stress. It causes us to devalue other human beings. It causes us to miss those moments that make life what it is. And of course they're not easy. No one is foolish enough to think that. If it was an enjoyable day at the park, you don't think when on that day, right? Even though it applies just the same to it. We live in a when. And it's been kind of pressing on me this way of that we need to focus more on taking advantage of that moment as an opportunity, instead for discontentment, using it as an opportunity for gratitude for that moment, because it's all about perspective. Yes, there's challenges presented by even the worst possible, and I already mentioned traffic, but that means that you have an individual wealth point that allows you to afford a car and the means to drive that car. That's not necessarily a common thing worldwide. Especially, like, I know that here in the US, it's common for people to have multiple cars. You move to other countries, in other, like, some instances, it's even illegal for you, depending on individual statistics and demographic data about you. It's not necessarily as normal as you think it is, and something that's been impressed on us as well, because we went through the hospital stay after my daughter was born, all the tests that they go through, both her and my wife, and the monitoring vital signs every couple of hours coming in, blood pressure, blood sugar, dilation, depression, anxiety, psychosis, all these things that we're constantly testing for to make sure she's okay, my wife's okay, everyone's getting along fine, because childbirth is a forgotten danger in the West because of all the medicine and the sterilization and the hand sanitizer and the mask orders. We forget that 17 out of 100,000, just about every single year, will pass away, either the woman, the child, or both, in the process of childbirth. And we made it through both intact. That in 2018, Central African Republic led the world, where 9% of pregnancies resulted in the death of one or both. And when you lose sight of things like that, you lose sight of the opportunities to be grateful that we're okay and we're safe. And yes, that means all night being awake and feedings and getting up and being exhausted. Yes, it does mean that. But in this instance specifically, it's better than not. It's a better alternative than not. And so that's the perspective of, like, obviously we don't want to have pie in the sky, empty optimism. That's not me anyways. I am a realist, and a real life part is recognizing that things could have definitely gotten worse. And being the kind of person that I am, as well as I think a lot of people are, that you're cognitively aware of what that worst would have been. And yet, for the grace of God, there go I. So that's kind of just what I wanted to share about. Where's the opportunity for you to be grateful in the midst of your challenges? Because it is there. And you just have to open your eyes and see it.